All right, we wanted to tell you about a brand new show coming up. You want to watch out for it. It's called PeeWee and Me Save the World.
PeeWee and Me? Oh, man, we got to save the world, man. You see how
Let's take a wild guess. Who's PeeWee? It ain't me. This is PeeWee Dread.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Enough respect. I'm PeeWee Dread. This is Mike Morin.
And it's exactly what it looks like. Cool reggae guy, big dumb white guy. But that's all right.
Yeah, man, we make it work. We make it work. And what are we doing here, though, man?
Well, the thing is, the title of the show is PeeWee and Me. I'm me, you're PeeWee.
Yeah, man.
Save the world.
Exactly.
We get people all the time, guys sitting around a table.
Right?
And they say, what are you doing? And they say, well, we're fixing all the problems in the world.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. PeeWee and me, sit around and we talk about the same kind of things, except it's a weird contrast.
Right.
Because you look the way you look.
Just a little.
I look the way I look. He got the better end of the deal.
You know.
But here's the thing is, we found out something that was intriguing. Over and above the fact that we're so different,
right,
we still have a lot in common.
Yeah, man.
We still have some thoughts that are in common. And the most important thing of why we do a podcast about it, we're freaking brilliant.
Exactly. And it takes two wise guys like us to come and do some wise cracks and some wise facts. But we'll get them together. All you need to do is take a couple listens once in a while, and once you get in, you won't be able to get out.
Well, like today we were talking about, we sat down, this always happens, we sit down, you're getting ready to do a gig, and I start talking about the state of the world today.
Right, right.
It's very adversarial, very argumentative.
Totally.
It seems like everybody's ready to fight. And you're a peace-loving guy.
Mostly.
This has got to be a hard thing for you to deal with.
Well, we like peace because we want to see people happy, and that's why I play music, because I love happiness. And so when we start talking about things, how do we make the world a happier place, it really intrigues me and sparks my interest. So my goal is to continue, the conversations that we have, the stuff I do in the community, before that, of poverty, with Rasta Teas, just all the things where we try to help people find a better place, whether it's here, abroad, no matter what. We all need it. We all want to be happy.
Well, and I think a lot of times when you see life the way it is and people are adversarial and ready to fight, that's really more out of fear than anything.
Oh, definitely.
People are scared, not exactly mad. So the only response to it is, I'm going to strike out.
Right, right.
And that's the kind of things we're going to address. How people think, why they think that way, and what may be a better way to look at it. And what better way to get a guy like you and a guy like me
together,
to try to negotiate it out.
Well, over coffee or tea, like I said, we won't have that argument yet, but
no,
and that's the beauty of it, though, because you have, no matter what perspective you come from, happiness is the baseline for most people. Having love in their family is a baseline for most people. Having a world that's not at war. So everybody wants what they want, but when we get down to the nitty gritty, you want to go home to your family. I want to go home to my family, and I want to see everybody be able to enjoy their families. So when we talk to you, that's what we're talking about. Enjoying just that reciprocity, man. How do we get people to love each other again without worrying about who's got what and who's got? Shoot, what do I have that you don't got?
It's what you got that I don't have is the big problem.
Right.
You got youth, you got looks, you got talent. I'm lacking on many of those things.
And a few things that I'm lacking, I'm lacking privilege to a degree. There's certain privileges I do carry having in music.
So you have this deep, dark desire to be an old white guy?
There we go, right.
That's your greatest dream. I want to be an old white guy.
Deep, exactly.
Trust me, I've been there. You don't want it.
Well, I want to be a young white guy then. I'll take that. Okay. At least a young white guy in court. So, what a good attorney. Perry Mason was one of my favorite shows for a reason. I wanted to figure out how to get other people out of jail, out of trouble, because I love defending people. I think that's really the basis. We're two bleeding hearts, but we have an understanding that there's pragmatism that comes with all that stuff. So when we get together, our conversations just build on building.
Well, that's the thing is, you said we're two bleeding hearts. I'm not really liberal on everything, but I'm liberal on people.
Well, yeah.
People deserve what they get, and they deserve to be treated properly.
Oh, totally.
And they deserve what they pay for, and we pay a lot in taxes.
Oh, yeah, man. And, I really look at that situation. That's one of the worst situations in the world, because people don't get an opportunity to get the representation. We're still fighting for representation. Taxation without representation is going on. A lot of homeless people that I represent I try to work with and integrate back into some type of semblance of society. They're being ostracized because they have a lack of resources. The same reason why they had a famine in Ethiopia. It wasn't a food famine. It was a resource access famine. People that couldn't access the resource, they didn't have money. The economy was destroyed. So when we have these types of artificial problems, this is what makes my heart bleed. It's not necessarily that we can't fix the problems, but the stuff that's in front of the problem generally doesn't make sense why the problem exists.
Well, we have a lot of problems in this world that are based solely on money.
Totally.
And I try to tell my kids, I try to tell other people, money's cool, but money comes and goes. When it comes down to it, all we got is people.
Exactly.
All we got is what I went to a funeral this last week, and I thought about this when my mom passed too. People look at death as the end, and it's really not the end.
No.
In a real sense. It's really the culmination on what we all do.
Right.
Our gains, our product isn't what we do and what we gather all our lives. The product that we're creating is what we leave behind, as far as our family, as far as the legacy, as far as our friends, as far as the love, as far as how people feel about us. We're here to make other people feel good.
Totally.
And be helpful. And once we understand that, we don't worry about tax breaks for rich people and people getting bills for different things. It's about other people.
Money. You don't worry about that part of the energetic currency. Money is a currency or a current for a reason. It's energy. And whatever energy you apply to it, that's the energy you're going to get out of it.
Right.
So if you put good energy in the money, it's going to do good things. You put bad energy in the money, you're going to human traffic. You're going to do all kinds of stuff that you probably wouldn't want to do necessarily because you don't need. When we make money a need, when money becomes that God or God reference, if you will, that for me becomes a problem. But at the same time, money's a necessity. People need to have money to transact, to keep ledgers and so forth. My dad was an accountant. So yeah, money, I couldn't get away from the money conversation.
Well, that's the thing is, when you talk about bleeding heart liberals and you talk about, oh, money's bad. We don't think money's bad.
No.
We're both capitalists.
Yes.
I go to work every day, try to make as much money as I can.
Right.
And so do you as an artist.
Yep.
If you didn't know, PeeWee is a reggae singer. I know he doesn't dress like it.
No, never. My hair, I gotta cut. Yeah, but that's the beauty of taking disparate people and put them together and say, hey, you know what we can do? We can take this same information and spread it to other people, and they can say, hey, you know what? Maybe that inspires them to do something better. We want to be that edification model, and that's really where I come from. I come in. I went to McAllister. My back. If I start telling about my resume, they probably wouldn't believe me.
Right.
I got to check this out. But that's an awesome thing. And so the fact that, even my band Dread I Dread literally means fear my dreadlocks. If you're not accustomed to seeing dreadlocks have different understanding underneath what's underneath the cap, is what you need to know.
Well, that's it. If I was walking down the street and it's a dark night and I see you coming at me, I'm going, holy shit. But then when you and I sit down, we met at some benefit, and we had a lot in common. We talked and talked and talked, and as you can see, this is kind of how it goes. So we thought, well, this would be interesting to put it out there, not only because of whatever information we can offer, but the fact that we're different.
You're South Minneapolis. I'm from the southern United States.
Right, there you go.
People still think I'm from southern that, either farther south. They think I'm from Jamaica most times, and that's okay because I'm a cultural chameleon, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't appropriate. I'm me. This is part of who I am. This is my middle. And so you got to find your middle. People need to find their middle. And we're here to bring up topics and just have discussions that allow you to do that. To allow you to say, you know what, those guys are pretty thought-provoking.
Well, and that's the thing is we aren't so arrogant that we don't want to hear what you want to say. If you'd like to make comments, if you'd like to yell at us.
Right.
People.
Or if you disagree.
People always ask me, Mike, why do you say the things you do on Facebook? Are you trying to convert people? And I said, no, I'm not trying to convert people. I'm trying to exercise my right to speak my mind.
Totally.
And too many people feel held back about speaking their mind.
They're afraid. Yeah, man.
So I'm in a position where I don't care. I'm not worried about anybody being mad at me.
Right. Except
and here it is. If I don't convert anybody, if I don't make anybody happy or mad, it doesn't matter. I'm doing what I want to do, and if it does some people good, great. And I think we'll do some people good, especially with your help.
Yeah, man, totally. And I work with people with brain injuries. I work with people because I also suffer from a brain injury, and I like to help people in any situation. I met a gentleman yesterday who was having the same conversation, like, PeeWee, what do I do? How do I navigate this? And so for me, I'm like, hey, I understand. I had a friend that came here tonight, As the same condition I have, double visions and different problems with the eyesight. So I mean, you never, you don't know who's who until you know. And that's the beauty of it. And that's what I think is going to be the best with this podcast, or oddcast, if you will. We're going to be able to help people kind of just continue to navigate. Have one more place where you can go listen to somebody that you can relate to.
Or somebody you can talk to.
Yeah, man.
And I was going to bring this up. I never mentioned this before, but and not to diminish your medical issue, but I kind of had a traumatic head injury. It's called the 70s and
All right.
half blue ribbon.
All right.
I waded into that a little too deep, and I'm paying for it now. I haven't drank in 30 years,
Right.
but
Understand.
I'm still starting to recover now.
Yeah,
but
man.
no, I can appreciate. You have to understand. PeeWee is doing concerts and doing a lot of work with homeless people and doing a lot of things, and he's got his own medical issues that he deals with, and it's a pretty impressive schedule you keep for the things you have to deal with.
Oh yeah, man. And see, that's because nobody gets to know that stuff until they come to the podcast, and that's why I really want them to come out so they can kind of get to know us, but also get to see us from the inside out. Because a lot of times you only get to see the surface,
Right.
and this gives you a little chance to, it might not be a whole lot, but it's just enough to say, hey, you know what? I know a little bit more about this guy. Either I respect him a lot, or man, I didn't realize he was going through all that.
Right.
And
Exactly.
vice versa, because everybody has their story.
Exactly. And we want to hear your stories. We want to tell
Yeah,
some
man.
stories, and hopefully one of us or all of us or everybody gets some good out of it. So you watch out for PeeWee and Me Save the World. It's coming up soon, real quick. Now we
Yeah,
have
man.
to do it because we
So-
just did the promo.
Right.
And
So I got to clear my schedule then, what you're saying.
clear your schedule.
Gotcha. I got to put one more thing in my busy schedule, but that's okay because this thing to me is really important. I really want to be able to connect to you and really see what's going on in your world.
Watch out for it. We'll be back soon. Have a good week.
Peace.